When I was growing up, we used to spend a lot of time on the 7 Mile Beach. In the summers, all my cousins would come from different parts of the US, and we would spend whole days and we would walk up and down the 7 Mile Beach. We'd bring a little picnic basket because there weren't really any restaurants around, and we would spend a lot of time underneath those weeping willow trees or casuarina trees, just eating and having a good time. My name is Judith Watler. I've lived here practically all my life, when I was 7 years old. And I've had opportunities to move overseas, but just could not bring myself to do it because I just love the Cayman Islands. It's hard to come up with the top three, but definitely one of my favorite spots is like at sunset time, just driving down Harbor Drive when Georgetown is quiet, seeing the sun dance on the water in the harbor. That's just like one of my favorite spots. And you know, if you can stop and just watch the sun just disappear, that's an amazing place, an amazing thing I like to do. Another favorite spot would be just finding a nice, what I call a weeping willow tree. Others call it casuarina trees. Just have some nice quiet time, a chit chat with friends under a nice shady spot on the 7 Mile Beach. And just, you know, kind of reminisce, talk about old times, looking at that beautiful blue water out in front of you. And then another favorite spot is just Rum Point, just hanging out at Rum Point on the beach, or, you know, in the evenings going on the bioluminescence bay. I mean, friends going out on kayaks, just hanging out. We've even had like little cheese and crackers and wine out on the kayaks and the bioluminescence bay, which I think is amazing. I don't think there's anywhere else that you would have that type of an experience that you can have in that bioluminescence bay in the evening, especially when it's dark and not much moonlight. So those are some of my favorite spots, but there's a lot more, but those are kind of, if I had to come up with three, that's probably those. I mean, development is definitely better. Every country wants to thrive and do well. But I think, you know, we have to be careful because some of what we have, some of those memories that were real Cayman memories that you couldn't get those experiences anywhere else, I can see where if we don't take care, we could lose, like the bioluminescence bay or the few weeping willow trees, casuarina trees that are left. There's not many left. So, you know, I think we have to be careful and make sure that, you know, we do preserve some things that are truly Caymanian, that, you know, really make Cayman what it is today. I remember going to get cocoa plums on the beach. There were like massive amount of trees where we would just get like a basket full of cocoa plums and sit down and eat those. They're not there anymore. Tons of sea grapes that used to be on the 7 Mile Strip. You don't see many of them, and I remember there being like bunches and bunches. We used to have a lot of fun going to Spots Beach. Walking down the beach, going into the caves that are there, like at the end, like before you get around that corner that would be going, I guess, past the Savannah area. There's a lot of like cliff rocks, and there were caves in there, and as children we used to go in there. You walk on the other side going towards like South Sound area, there were tons and tons of wilks. So we used to pick wilks off of the rocks, and my grandmother used to make like a wilk stew, a conch stew like dish. And then the turtles, not when I was growing up, but that you all are seeing today. I mean, I don't think that's something that tourists see either. And, you know, it's kind of like a hidden treasure we have here in this area that, you know, is definitely something that we want to preserve and not make it, you know, too popular. The message is we have to make sure that we're preserving things that are truly Caymanian, things that bring people here, you know, because it's very vulnerable. It can easily be lost if we don't take care of what we have and try and preserve some of what we have. And I think we've lost a lot of what we used to have, you know, that kind of like more roughness. We're now more refined and more South Beach-like. But I think, you know, we need to strike a balance now. We need to reset and see how much more of our natural beauty we really want to lose, right? So like I said, it's very vulnerable. I think we have, like I said, kind of reset and just make sure that we preserve some of what we have here.